All right, welcome back into another episode of Indiebnb. Today we're joined by a influencer, music enthusiast, and Athens local. Of course, we have the incomparable On Tour with Carly here with us today. How are we feeling today?
I'm feeling great. Thank you so much for having me. I've been looking forward to this for a while.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad to hear that, and I think want to get started. You're a content machine. You've got a lot of good your editing and all of the different pieces are things that I can't do, but also I think a lot of people appreciate because you're able to give some love to a lot of different artists in a lot of different ways. So I mean, talk to me about like what made you want to do this? What was the inspiration?
First I want to say thank you so much. That all means a lot to me. So I initially started the account when I was a freshman in college. I was just going to a lot of shows and I had this little Canon power shot with me, and a bunch of people saw my pictures and you take great pictures, you should post them on Instagram. And so I just kind of started posting them, and it was really just a photography account so I could kind of get booked as a photographer in Athens. And then I was talking to a friend, and she was like, you've got you're really into music, you seem to have great taste, you should do something else with your account. And I was like, oh, I don't know, I don't know if I want to, make videos or anything. So I started kind of just making some posts to promote new artists that I was finding, whether they were in Athens or Atlanta or just anywhere around the world. Music that I really, really loved and I wanted other people to hear. And then last summer I started making videos, doing different types of series. And yeah, the series that I guess my page is, I don't want to say known for, but attracted more viewers was my series called The Georgia Groove, where I pick different artists from Georgia and just do a quick little video on them and the type of music they create and how long they've been doing it, just to get other people to go and listen to them. And then I'd also start just making New Music Friday videos and plugging different albums people should go listen to, plugging different playlists. But yeah.
I love it. I mean, I think taking something that just as a passion and turning it into something that you can help help the artist go through. I can certainly identify with that, as that is a lot of the genesis of this page as well. So
Yeah.
Georgia Groove, I mean, who were some of the first people you had on there that you were really vibing on and that you wanted to feature?
So I initially just made a whole list of all of my favorite artists that I was listening to that were either from Georgia or were based in Georgia. And the first artist that I did was Clover County, who is I want to say an Americana indie folk singer. I love her music a lot. I think she's great, and I knew that she was coming out with an album in September. I made that video back in June of last year, and then she started sharing it, and a couple other artists saw my page, and then I did another video on Eddie 9 who is a southern rock Americana artist. And I did another video on Arcos, which is an Atlanta-based jazzy R&B group, and that was one of the groups I think I was really, really, really excited to plug because I love their music so much. I'm a big R&B fan, and their music, it was just that perfect mix of acid jazz and psychedelic R&B. And yeah, I kept kind of making videos from there, and then once I got back to school, I had to kind of cut down on posting just to prioritize my schoolwork, but definitely still trying to get more videos out soon.
Yeah, I mean, definitely can identify with the, it takes a lot of time, for
Yeah.
sure. And I know that a lot of thought goes into it. And, Clover County, somebody I'm familiar with, they will be, potentially coming on this show. We'll see. We'll have to see in the next few weeks. But, yeah, I have not heard Eddie 9 and Arcos. We'll have to definitely check them out and, get
Yeah,
the,
I love
go
him
get
a
the
lot.
post.
Eddie 9 is his career is just skyrocketing. I think he's opening up for the Black Keys at some
wow.
point on their tour. I know he just played with Marcus King in Atlanta. I think he's played with Marcus King a couple times, and I mean, that's just awesome to me. And I know he's playing in Athens this Friday.
Ooh, all right. Friday, February 21st. Go check it out.
Yeah.
Or 20th.
Yeah.
20th, February 20th. Well, again, like, what's it feeling like? I know the feeling that I get whenever I find somebody who I then can share with somebody and they love it. Like, is that kind of the motivation? Like, is that the feeling you kind of chase a lot to just kind of find that like next thing?
Um, yeah, I would say so. I've like been super into music since I was a little kid. Like my dad worked in the music business in the 90s for a very brief period of time and he just definitely um I listened to everything that he played and he also played guitar. I was just very influenced by his music taste and I saw the joy that like music brought him, especially when it was like legendary groups to us were like newer groups to him, like Nirvana and Jeff Buckley and like Fish. And I just saw that and I thought it was super cool. So I wanted to um, kind of channel that feeling as well. And then also just being in Athens, I started meeting a lot of musicians and I was like, I love their music. I need other people to go listen to their music because I think they're great. A few people have told me that I have a good ear, and now I'd like to think so too. But I did it just because like I love music, but I also like wanted to help out my friends because the people in the Athens music scene like are like family to me. They mean the absolute world, and I want to do anything I can to like help them reach their goals in having a really successful music career.
That's awesome. I think that, that's definitely a good reason to do it. And I think like it's, you have something that like, to me, the guys in Perfect Animal I'm very close with. And I think that they're awesome. And I think that everyone should think they're awesome. And like, I want to, get their word out as much as I can about them. And so who are some of the bands, in Athens, like, you start going your freshman year, you're getting into, kind of, college, but also getting into the scene there. Like, who are some of those shows that kind of stick out to you, like that are like ones that you remember vividly?
Ooh, I think the very first show or like live music thing I ever went to in Athens it was at a frat house and it was for Wim Tapley and I had listened to his
Oh,
music like before I came to Athens so I just saw that he was like an Athens based artist and so loved his music, saw he was playing at this party and I went and had like really I just had a great time. I posted him on my story and we ended up following each other and like several months later we actually ended up meeting at a bar in Athens called Boar's Head and they do open mic nights on Wednesday and it was like my first time there because they told me that like you can't get in if you're not 21 but I still got in and I asked him I'm like hey, what's like the deal with the open mic? And he told me, and he was just a really sweet guy. And we kind of just kept running into each other a little bit more because we were in the same scene and ended up becoming really good friends. And now I recently designed some merchandise for him, and I also like work for him a little bit, and I help sell merch at shows. And it's also just really cool to call him a friend because he's just such a great person, like all around. But yeah, then I through him, like I also met B. Porges, who's like an indie pop singer who I love so dearly. I think that her music is like she's gonna be huge one day, and I want more people to start listening to her. And I started working with a band called Recess Party. They're kind of like alternative rock punk with that like 90s grunge kind of flair, and
well, I've seen him.
yeah, I love them. They're great.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just started like making more and more connections through all these people and just by going to a ton of shows and just like having to get out of my comfort zone and like introduce myself to these people. And now it's like it's really cool that I can call some of these people friends because I looked up to them like a lot when I first kind of got involved in the music scene.
Very cool. I mean, like, obviously Wim Tapley, somebody we've had on here as well, and like, I mean, just an absolute joy every time I see him here in Atlanta. I always, am able to dap him up. He remembers who we are. Like, it's
Yeah.
not he is, even though he's getting bigger and we're getting to the point where he'll get over, get over the hump. I think like, yeah, I think it's always great to be able to kind of still have those connections with folks. Like, as you've, gone in and gotten in the scene there, like, what are some other like any other like places that kind of stick out to you? Like you're like, all right, like hey, I love this bar, or my favorite show was here. Like talk me through that.
Yeah, absolutely. Georgia Theater is obviously such an iconic venue. I've seen some of my favorite shows there. The first artist I ever saw there was Marcus King, and I saw him with like one of my best friends. She's now one of my best friends, and we literally met because of our love for Marcus King. And we went to that show together. It was just like the best night. And Georgia Theater, love it so much. I love the 40 Watt. I actually just started working there and have really, really enjoyed it so far. I was recently working the Drive By Truckers reunion concerts, and I worked the one with MJ Lenderman, which was kind of cool.
Wow.
Yeah, that was really fun. But yeah, like in terms of venues, I think those are great. But for bars, I love Flicker Theater, which is right next
Sure.
to the 40 Watt. I'm always catching something cool there. Boar's Head, of course, they always have live music almost every weekend. I've gone to some really cool like frat parties in the spring and seen some great bands. I saw like The Brook and the Bluff and Stolen Gin, and I thought that was cool. Oh, and Nowhere Bar I think is another cool. It's just another cool kind of. I don't know if it's a towny bar necessarily, but it's definitely a dive bar. All sorts of like different, people are in there. It's just a cool environment to be in.
Love it, love it. You're getting the full, given the full spectrum. I think somebody who's listened to this, like if you've never been to Athens before, or if you have, you're going to, a football game for a weekend. I think, she just gave you a great list of things to go check out, and at least, if they're playing something, they have good taste, trust it, and send it. It sounds like is the
Yeah.
key word there.
I also know Aikens Ford Arena just like opened up recently, and they are having like really really big artists there. I just saw Billy Strings there last week, and that was amazing. I think Megan Maroney is playing there in a month or two, which is really cool. But yeah, that's another cool venue that I think is going to bring in a lot of really great music to Athens.
Yeah. That part of Georgia definitely, and also, you kind of some surrounding areas there in South Carolina, like very easy to get to, super accessible with everyone, kind of coming in for the college, scene, but also, gonna be some great music that are gonna be coming through there. So,
Yeah.
I mean, for you, like, how many shows do you think you go to, on a given semester? Let's just say, like, I guess, it's set the 17th of February when we're taping this. At this point this year, how many shows have you gone to? I know you got some work going in here, but like, give me the number.
So, funnily enough, I actually keep a list of like every single concert I've ever been to, and
Smartest thing on earth. I'm
it's
so glad that you do that.
thank you. Yeah, it's like it's not always just like concerts. It's really just any artist that I've seen. My list is called artists I've seen live, and I'm hoping to reach 200 by the end of the year. And right now we are at 138.
138. All right. So, and that's across 4 years, or I guess,
That's
from
across.
when
That's probably across a little over 10 years.
10 years. Okay.
Yeah, but just this year, I'm trying to see who I've seen.
And this is 138 different people, not necessarily like 138. And I've seen Wim Tapley 4 times, or is it like total?
It's total.
Okay. Hey.
Wim Tapley, I've actually lost count of how many times I've seen, just because I was going to his shows like because I enjoyed it, and now I would kind of work for him. So, but I'm gonna go to his show regardless because I think he's just a great performer.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like going to concerts. It's kind of like a cathartic thing for me. I put like all my money towards it, and it brings me so much joy. I've met some really great people. It shows. I think music is just a great way of bringing people together.
Certainly, certainly. What's your, when you go to a concert, all right, you're going with Carly. What are we doing? Are we drinking beers? Are we drinking wine? Are we not drinking at all? Are we doing, are we going to buy merch? Are we going to stand in the front, back, side? Where are we at? What are we thinking?
So at almost every show that I've been to where it's like, I guess reserved seating in an arena or some sort, I've been able to like kind of finagle my way down to the pit. at almost every show. The only ones I wasn't able to do that at were Taylor Swift and Kendrick Lamar, because that's Mercedes-Benz, very high
Yeah,
security.
it could be tough. Could be tough there.
Yeah. But I did it Billy Strings. It was awesome. And yeah, sometimes I've had to be a little bit better with myself about buying merch, because I don't need a like $45 t-shirt at every show I go to. But
Yeah.
I will buy something if I really do think it's worth it, or if it's like a little memento from a show. In terms of, partying it up and drinking, occasionally it just depends on like the vibe of the show and also like who I'm going with. I go to a lot of concerts with my dad, so not doing a ton of drinking, but just a lot of like jamming out. Like I want to make sure that the person I'm going with is having like an amazing time the way that I am. Like I'm never gonna drag someone to a show if they really don't want to be there, because
Yeah.
it could kind of kill the mood a little bit.
What's the most off the wall thing you've seen of those 138? Like, I mean, do we got any wild, like something in there that that none of us would expect?
Um, ooh, that's an interesting question. I'd have to like scroll back and see if anything like crazy happened at any of these shows. I don't know if this is like crazy, but I think it was just really fun. I've seen Andy Frasco twice, and he's a really cool like jam band artist, for people who don't know him. And he does this thing at all of his shows where he gets everybody to do the hora. And for people who are not Jewish, it's like the thing that you do at bar mitzvahs and weddings, where you're just dancing in a big circle, and we all dance to Hava Nagila. And I think we did it at his show in Athens. We did it at 420 Fest last year, and it was like, it was so fun. It was so cool. Also, like, I'm Jewish, so that was just something fun to experience at a show. But yeah, that was a really, really cool thing to be a part of.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Well, Andy Frasco, shout out. Get him going. Get the horror up. Let's go. I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah,
love it.
he seems like a really cool guy. I met him actually. I met him twice, and he like followed me on Instagram, and I was like, no way, that's so cool. But yeah.
Wow. Wow, we got some heavy hitters on the on the Insta. I love it. I love it. How do for you when you're designing the videos? I want to get kind of back into the as you're creating your video process. Like, what are you doing there? Like, is it something you've self-taught, or is it like a maybe a class you've done, YouTube? Like, what has been the way that you've gone in? Because I mean, I just watched one of them that you featured. You had Bruno Mars on there, and you were pumped about getting Bruno Mars tickets, and then you mentioned Stolen Gin, which is another member of this fraternity or whatever we have here. They've been on the show as well.
Yeah.
But like, how do you do that? Like, I'm just curious. Like, has it been something you developed over time?
It is like purely self-taught, I guess.
Love it.
I always like loved making little montages or whatever on like iMovie when I was younger, and then when like TikTok and Instagram Reels kind of started like becoming a big thing, I started learning how to do I guess just figuring out Instagram Reels, just trial and error kind of, and I like bought a little clip mic from Amazon, and I just set my phone up like with a tripod in front of my like record player, and just something that shows how much I love music and is like aesthetically pleasing, and just go from there. Some of them are, I will say, some of my videos are definitely scripted. Like I did a series called We've Got the Jazz, and those were longer form videos, so those were like all scripted.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta do. I mean, you can't be just making it up as you go along. I mean, although how funny it is, it's about jazz, and you scripted it out, but it's a little bit
I
ironic.
tried to like do it just off the dome, and it did not work.
Yeah.
I was like, I need a
Hey,
script.
well, look. Hey, get a script, make it look good. I like it. I mean, people have, I've heard that my doors back here are not exactly the most aesthetically pleasing background. I've gotten that feedback from a few people, but hey, look. You got a cool sign that says you look cool, So
Yeah,
I mean, you're getting,
that's a like 1975 lyric. They're my favorite band of all time. Like they are my entire world, and so I got this lyric like neon sign from Etsy, and it's from their song Robbers.
oh, got it. Okay. I'm trying to think. I think there was a day I went to a show that was at State Farm, or I went to a show that was at Mercedes Benz. But there was the 1975 was playing the same day
I was at that
as.
show.
Okay,
Yeah.
there was two things going on at once that were is like huge.
Yeah.
But I have not had the pleasure, so I think I need to get in there and go see them.
Yeah.
What are you? I guess your dream tour coming through Athens. Obviously, it sounds like 1975 might be in there. Who
Yeah,
is
of course.
opening? Who's middling? And obviously, they're closing it out. So talk me through that.
Ooh, I mean, I think it also kind of depends on the venue because they're like, you might have a little bit of a bigger artist play at the
Pick the
theater.
venue.
Yeah.
Where do you
So,
want them to play?
um, it would either be at the theater or the 40 watt, honestly. Trying to think. I remember I made a list like several years ago where it was like artists that I want to come to Athens, and actually one of them is coming on Friday. It's this band Laundry Day that I've been listening to for years, and
Wow.
so excited to finally see them. And yeah, but I think at the Georgia Theater, like my ideal show would be like the 1975 Sam Fender and ooh, maybe Lizzie McAlpine. I feel like could be really cool. I've seen her 4 times and she's just fantastic. But yeah, I think those could all be super cool artists to see. Or if like REM did a some sort of reunion and they started bringing out like different artists, I think that could be super cool too.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, hey, look, you got it can't happen unless you speak it into existence. I think that's the number one rule. So I love that we got it out in the
Yeah,
world.
definitely.
Before we get into Pete Peterson's, I do want to ask you one last question. I think a little bit deeper, but like I want to understand, for you, what is, in this page, what you do, now obviously it's part of your life, but like, what does success look like? I mean, for you, like, if we look back in 10 years, like, what do you want what do you consider a success with the page?
Um, Hopefully like working at a record label could be really cool if we're talking about like success for myself, but
Sure.
I think like all around success is if the artists that I'm promoting are like blowing up. I mean, I'm kind of doing this more for them than myself, because I just really want people to hear their music, and I just think that they're really talented. I strictly started this page just to like talk about music because it's something I care about so much. I never started it to get like brand deals or to, get really an ounce of fame from it. I was just doing it to talk about music. And yeah, I think like success for me would be doing A&R at a record label or doing some of like my own freelance work on a larger scale, getting to go to every and any concert I want to for free, maybe. And just helping artists like launch their career to make it into something they want it to be.
I love that. I love that. Sounds like some potentially some band management, some tour management, maybe.
Yeah.
Got a lot of different options there. Well,
Tour
we wish you the
managing has
best.
definitely been something I've thought about for sure, along with like
Yeah.
band management, but A&R is like it's my dream job, and my other dream job was I'm a psychology major and I initially came to Georgia like to do psych and go to grad school and everything. And I was like, one really cool job I'd love to have is like being an on tour therapist for artists because I get to travel and like be surrounded by music and also help people. So kind of like it's like the trifecta. It helps me, you know, it satisfies all my needs.
I love it. I love it. And they need that because I think, as I've talked with folks who've done a lot of touring and who've, gone through and experienced that, like, I think it's just definitely something that can definitely drain you
Yeah.
very much so on a daily basis. And if you don't have that kind of mental reset or, can talk to somebody, it's going to be a long, long, arduous process. So I'm sure that that is something that, for sure could be, something you could create for yourself as a role. So, I mean, that's awesome that you've got those, that
Thank
kind
you.
of idea. I love it. I love it. Well, we're going to kind of step back from, our, dreams and aspirations into a little bit more of a, this or that food-based questionnaire. obviously the most interesting way to end this, I guess. But we're gonna go Pete Peterson's party pack of questions. 20 questions, rapid fire. Here we go, Carly. Cake or pie?
Cake.
She's caking it up. All right. Salad or soup?
Salad.
All right. All right. Sunrise or sunset? What are you seeing more of these days?
Ooh, sunset. I don't get up early enough.
All right. Would you rather hit a home run or score a touchdown?
Maybe a home run. I think that could be really cool.
All right. All right. I think I know the answer to this one. Night in or night out? What are you having more of these days?
Night out.
I love it. I love it. When you do go out and, maybe we're, at an after show and a DJ's playing, are you more likely to hit the robot or the worm when your jam comes on?
Ooh, probably the robot. I love like the Michael Jackson, like blame it on the boogie thing. I think that's like so cool.
All right. All right. I love it. Guac or queso at your favorite Tex-Mex spot?
Ooh, guac. Favorite Tex-Mex spot in Athens is probably going to be Taco Mama. It's so good. I go there like probably more than I should.
Okay. All right. We're ripping some guac at Taco Mama. Shout out Taco Mama. All right. Waffles or pancakes?
Ooh. I haven't had either in such a long time, but I'm probably going to go with waffles because like Waffle House. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
when we talk about Southern Lights in Georgia, we talk about the Waffle House lights.
I love it. Indeed, indeed. All right. Coffee or tea with your waffles?
Coffee. Always.
All right. Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
All right. Ninja or a pirate? What do you identify more with?
Ooh. Maybe a ninja. I think like I try to be pretty slick if I can.
I mean, based on your ability to sneak down into, concert venues and to the front,
Very
I believe
true.
you maybe are a ninja. I love that.
Yes, I do sneak into a lot of concert pits or just concerts in general. So,
I like it. I like it. Chips or pretzels?
ooh. I feel like chips is very broad, so I might go with that.
Okay. All right. Fries or tots?
Fries.
All right. TV show or a movie after a long day?
Ooh. Probably a TV show.
Yeah. Are aliens real?
You know what? Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right. This is a new one. It's the first debut of this question. On tour with Carly. If you were a fruit, what kind of fruit would you be?
Ooh. Maybe a mango, because I feel like I might present as like a little bit tough on the outside sometimes, but deep down I'm a little bit more sweet and mushy. And, once you open me up, like I got a lot to say.
I like it. That's a great way to think about it. All right. Is love at first sight real?
Ooh, I'm gonna have to say no.
Yeah. Not many say yes. All right. And you've said a bunch of these already, but I'm going to go ahead and I want two more.
Okay.
Maybe some people you haven't said yet. So you can't say Clover County, Eddie 9 Volt, Arcos, Be Poor, Just Recess Party, William Tapley, or Andy Frasco.
Okay.
But you can say two other bands that we might not know that we ought to check out.
Ooh,
You
okay.
can't say Stolen Gin.
Okay. I'm not gonna say Billy Strings just because I feel like enough people know who he is, but I would say I'm checking like my playlists right now. There's this one artist I started listening to. His name is Oscar Jerome. He is an R&B like soul artist. Kind of like Tom Misch for anyone who likes listening to that. I already listened to 2 of his albums and love him. I think he's really, really good. And ooh, let me think. Oh, this is actually like really hard. Is it okay if they don't have a ton of music out?
No, absolutely, absolutely. It's okay. Yeah, they can have as much music out as you want.
Okay. I'm really trying to think hard about this because I can only like pick one artist now. Um,
I'll give you another one if you got a couple
okay.
in mind.
This is so much harder than I thought it would be. But I would say there's this one artist that I also have been listening to. Her name is Allure. It's Ellur. She's like an alternative British artist, I think, or she might be from like, I know she's from the UK. Really like her stuff. She just came out with an album like a couple weeks ago, and I really loved it. Um, Damn, this is really hard. Oh, wait, I know exactly who I want to say. Adam Melcher. He is without a doubt one of my favorite artists of all time. I think he is so unbelievably talented. I saw him one time and fell in love with his music. He is such a gorgeous songwriter, and the way that he just plays his guitar is so like soulful and sweet and intimate. Like, I cannot stop talking about how much I love his music because I really wish like more people knew who he was. I know he's worked with a lot of like really big artists like Noah Kahan, Madison Beer, Fleet Foxes, Post Malone. Like, he writes with a lot of them. I think he's just so talented, and I want everyone to go listen to him.
All right, Oscar Jerome, Adam Melcher, Allure. We've got those are the On Tour with Carly official Indiebnb collab picks.
Yeah.
We can find you at On Tour with Carly on Instagram. On Spotify or Apple Music, are there playlists that you have curated for folks? Are those all in your bios? What else can we find there?
Yes, all of my playlists are. I know like my Spotify is linked to my profile. So if you go to my profile, you can just click it there. My Apple Music is also available there as well because I do know a lot of us are making a shift right now. But yeah, all of my playlists are there. I feel like it has a little bit of something for everybody, whether you like, country music or hip hop or rock or bluegrass or folk. Like, there's a playlist for you somewhere on my profile.
I love it. Everyone go check her out. We'll link it down below here. Make it easy for everybody to get to. And, On Tour with Carly. We thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you coming to stop in the Indie B&B.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. This was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this.
Awesome. Thank you.